It was a cool spring morning in the tight-knit town of Cedar Grove, Montana. Inside Grace River Community Church, Pastor Ethan Wallace stood at the pulpit, his voice steady and passionate as he delivered a sermon titled, The Refining Fire. Ethan, 42, had led Grace River for over a decade. With a degree in theology from Liberty University and a background in social work, he had become both spiritual leader and town councilor. He was a man of quiet strength, known for helping troubled teens, grieving families, and even former inmates. His wife, Sarah, ran the women's ministry and often organized food drives for the local shelter. It was a near full house that morning. Families filled the pews, and the choir's final hymn still lingered in the air when the unthinkable happened. The church doors swung open with a crash. 2 sheriff's deputies and a plainclothes FBI agent strode in, boots echoing on the wooden floor. Gasps rippled through the congregation. One child began to cry. The agent stepped forward. "Pastor Ethan Wallace?" Ethan nodded slowly. "Yes. You're under arrest for wire fraud, money laundering, and identity theft. Please place your hands behind your back." Murmurs and cries broke out. Sarah rushed forward. There must be some mistake. Ethan would never. He was silent, stunned, as the handcuffs clicked shut around his wrists. He looked into the wide, tear-filled eyes of his parishioners, many of whom he'd baptized, married, or buried loved ones for. "I didn't do anything," he said, barely above a whisper, as they led him out past the cross. At the county jail, Ethan was informed of the charges. A shell company, Wallace Community Consulting, had embezzled over $1.9 million from nonprofits across several states, including a Veterans Assistance Fund and a domestic violence shelter. There were digital records of bank transfers, an LLC registered in his name, and even recorded Zoom calls with someone impersonating him, soliciting charity investment deals. But Ethan had never heard of the company. "I'm telling you," he said during questioning. "I didn't set that up. I don't even handle the church's finances. This has to be a setup." FBI agent Connors wasn't convinced. "Someone used your name, your identity, your church's reputation to run a multi-state scam. Either you're in on it, or you're being framed by someone with access." The news hit Cedar Grove like wildfire. Pastor arrested in multi-million-dollar fraud scheme. Local media picked up the story, followed by regional stations. Grace River's board was flooded with calls. Some members were furious. "He used our tithes to fund his schemes." But others stood firm. "I don't believe it. He's the most honest man I know." Sarah held a press conference on the church steps. "My husband is innocent. He's never even opened a PayPal account. I will fight this with every breath in my body." The church's young assistant pastor, Mark Davis, took over the Sunday sermons in Ethan's absence, trying to keep the congregation afloat. In the coming days, Ethan's attorney, Julia Haynes, began to poke holes in the case. One of the IP addresses used to register the fake company didn't IT trace back to Ethan's home or office. It was from a local internet cafe downtown. Even stranger, surveillance footage from the cafe showed a man using a laptop at the exact time the email account in Ethan Hess' name was created. The man looked familiar, though his hoodie was drawn up. When the footage was enhanced, Sarah's heart nearly stopped. It was Ryan Mitchell. Ryan had been Ethan's longtime assistant and tech coordinator. He joined the church 5 years ago, after leaving a troubled past behind in Denver. He'd become a son-like figure to Ethan, trusted with church accounts, live stream setups, and access to all of Ethan's devices and documents. Sarah remembered vividly, just last year, Ethan had co-signed Ryan's car loan to help him get back on his feet. When confronted, Ryan denied everything. "Come on, I've been here every day. I'm the one who installed Ethan's security software." But the evidence piled up. Multiple shell companies bore similar signatures, the same VPN Ryan used at home, and suspicious bank transfers to a consulting fund under a pseudonym that matched Ryan's old online gaming ID, R_Mitch22. Detective Connors pressed him again. "You accessed Pastor Wallace's cloud drive. You forged his digital signature. You used his reputation to solicit fake donations from actual charities. Why?" Ryan finally broke down. I was drowning. Student loans, credit cards, my mom's medical bills. It started small, just spoofing a few emails. Then people started wiring money. It got out of hand. And you let an innocent man, your mentor, rot in jail? Ryan was silent. Ryan was arrested. With his confession, Ethan was cleared within 48 hours. But freedom came at a cost. Even as the FBI issued statements, and the media released corrections, the damage to Ethan's reputation lingered. When he returned to church the next Sunday, the building was only half full. Some members had transferred to other congregations. Donors had pulled out. One local radio host even mocked, maybe he should preach about identity theft next time. Ethan stood before the congregation, no notes, no robes. Just a man, broken and honest. I trusted someone. I brought him into my home. I called him family. And he betrayed me. I won't lie, it shook me. But I believe truth wins. Even if it takes time. If you're still with us, we rebuild. Together. The silence in the room was sacred. Then came clapping. Then came tears. Ryan Mitchell was sentenced to 9 years in federal prison. Sarah continued her work with the shelter. Ethan wrote a book titled Innocence on Trial, a pastor's story of betrayal and redemption. He was later invited to speak at fraud prevention conferences, blending theology and real-life caution. Though Grace River never returned to its full size, the community that remained was stronger, more aware, and fiercely loyal. And every Sunday, Ethan would end with a quiet reminder, if the enemy can't break your faith, he'll try to steal your name. Don't let him.